Welcome to the special episode of The Lines Then. On today's show, we will talk with the 2026 state champion wrestler Gavin Ciampoli and his coach Joel Gilbert. March is also National Athletic Training Month. We will sit down with our trainers to discuss the important role they play keeping the mountain lions and lane lions in top shape. We will be right back with Gavin and Coach Gilbert after this. Gavin Ciampoli achieved something that no Altoona wrestler has done in nearly half a century, win a state championship. Gavin and Coach Gilbert are here in the studio today. Gavin, congratulations on your amazing accomplishment. Welcome to the show. Now, for this segment, I think we're going to talk a little bit more about your path to get to the state championship. So, first question I just want to ask is, obviously, state, regions, district tournaments are a different beast than your typical high school meet. Is there a different thought process that goes in your head when you're there?
Not really. I try and go into every match kind of thinking the same thing and stay pretty consistent with that.
And what do you try to think during matches?
I just try and focus on what we work on in practice and staying calm in the moment.
You know, Coach, can you describe like the path a wrestler has to take to get to the state championship?
Most guys will have to get through the district tournament, which is approximately 2 matches. And then, of course, once you get through the district tournament, which Gavin has won the districts the past 3 years and still has an opportunity to be a 4-time district champ next year, you have to go to what is known as the West Regional. The West Regional consists of all the WIPIAL, all the Erie schools, District 10 schools, District 6 schools, District 9 schools, and District 7, which is the Intercity League in Pittsburgh. So there are probably 6 districts that are involved in getting out of the West Regional. And to be a West Regional champion, you have a really good opportunity to be a state champion. So to just get to the state tournament, you got to be top 5 in that regional tournament. Gavin was able to do that this year. He won the West Regional, only our 3rd guy to ever do it here at Altoona. And
Congrats.
Thank you.
He moved on to the state tournament.
Now, how do you prepare wrestlers for the state tournament?
There are a few things that we do. We kind of cut practices down. We have them a little more intense. We take about a half hour off each practice. We focus on the little things, finishing takedowns, making sure that our guys are understanding situations. 30 seconds, you got to ride the guy out, you got to win the match somehow, those types of things. And I believe it's really helped us prepare for those types of matches.
Now, Gavin, do you have a strategy going into a tournament such as like a state tournament?
I wouldn't say so much a strategy, but like I said earlier, try and stay calm and go into each match with a clear head and thinking the same things.
Yeah. Speaking of calmness, like in what ways does pressure change as you advance through the bracket?
For me, I don't really I try not to think about pressure. If you lose your first match, you're not going to win either. You're not going to win a state title if you lose your first match. So, every match, listen to my music and just stay calm throughout the tournament.
Do you have a routine to keep you calm, or is it just?
I listen to music before my matches. The training kind of takes pressure off too. So, just knowing that I worked hard and can do it kind of relieves a lot of that pressure.
And what type of what do you guys focus on in a practice compared to normally during a normal meet, Coach?
It's really nothing different. We try to keep everything the same for the most part. A lot of our guys, like I said, we go about 1 hour in the postseason. But Gavin and a lot of our better wrestlers, they'll go to club practices also. So they're getting different workout partners, different looks, getting an opportunity to listen to a different coach, in their thought processes too. And I believe it's really helped us, helped all of our guys, and not just Gavin, just get better, be a little more focused, a little more relaxed, because you're used to wrestling different styles, different competition, and it kind of makes you aware of maybe what the guy's trying to do to you and what you want to do to him out there. So ideally, those are the type of things that we really try to focus on in the postseason, and we just want our guys to feel good. The bottom line is at the end of the year, you're beat up, you're tired, you're wore out, and we just want them to feel good, let their bodies feel good to where they go out there and they feel that they can perform to the best of their ability. And that's all we ever ask of our kids.
And is there a way you keep wrestlers in the right headspace going into these do-or-die matches?
Well, we never look at it as do or die. We look at it as, hey, let's score as many points as we possibly can out there. Let's perform to the best of our ability. And let's not really focus on the do or dies. Let's just focus on getting better out there. The whole program's based upon getting better every day, and that's what we want out of our guys, on the mat. We're just focused on getting better. It's a great opportunity to get better, and our guys normally go out and they wrestle pretty hard for us.
We will be right back with more from Gavin and Coach Gilbert after this. We are back with Gavin and Coach Gilbert. Gavin, Gilbert, do you want to talk a little bit more about the championship match during this segment? So, Gavin, can you just walk us through in words what happened during the championship match?
Yeah. The finals, there's a lot of media and kind of theatrics that go into it, which is pretty cool. There was a pretty cool walkout and Parade of Champions, so that was exciting. But I just treated it the same as any other match and stayed calm and went out there and just looked to score points.
Is there anything specific, like specific moments from the match that you remember?
I remember kind of getting on a lot of shots and not finishing all of them, but eventually in the second period, I'm pretty sure I got a takedown to 2 near fall, which kind of opened the match up and just kind of kept looking to score and hand fight and close the match out from there.
Now, Coach, we heard what Gavin's thoughts were. What was going through your mind during the match?
I'll be honest with you, Gavin was dominant the whole tournament. He didn't stop in the finals. So, in his 4 matches there at the state tournament, he had, I believe, 2 majors. He had 2 decisions. The decision that he had was his 100th win. And then, of course, in the finals, he went ahead and he was just all over his opponent. Yeah, his opponent got away a few times from a few shots, but you could just see that the momentum was going his way the whole time. And, he eventually finished that shot, ended up getting the back points that he just talked about. Of course, he broke the match wide open at that point in time. Just kept scoring points. And, when you keep scoring points, good things are going to happen. And good things happen for him out there. And, for me, it was exciting to watch him. It was exciting to see, all of his time and effort and everything he put into the season. I mean, a lot of people don't know this. If you watch the kid eat at lunch, he doesn't eat your normal chicken sandwich, right? This guy's eating, rice with other stuff in it that are good for the body and so forth. He's just eating differently. He's just doing all the right things. And, to see him get to the finals and all that stuff come to fruition, that all the time and effort that he put in really, really made me happy for him.
And now, Gavin, when you were in the final match, could you think, or was it basically all adrenaline and just what you were taught coming through?
Yeah. I feel like when you're so dialed in and ready to compete, you're not really thinking about much, and you just kind of rely on what you've done in practice the entire season. So, not really, no.
And can you describe how you felt when you realized you had won the gold medal?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. There's a lot of failures and time and effort put into it, so it was pretty cool. It was worth it.
Pretty cool. Coach, can you describe how you felt when you realized that one of your wrestlers won the gold medal?
I was ecstatic. I got to be honest with you. I've been doing this at Altoona for 28 years. We've had multiple guys in the finals. Gavin would be the 5th kid we've had in the finals, but he's the first guy to ever win it. So I wasn't sure if I'd ever have the opportunity to see somebody from Altoona win it, maybe in my lifetime. Of course, 52 years is a long time. So I was ecstatic not only for him, I was ecstatic for the whole program and the community, and I was ecstatic for, I was just happy to see it happen. I think it was pretty exciting, and the way he did it, too, in such a dominant form. It just, you couldn't ask for a better scenario to play out.
Yeah. Now, Gavin, I have to ask, when you win a gold medal, how do you display it? Do you just hang it on the wall? Do you sleep with it at night?
Right now it's on my dresser with a couple other trophies and plaques. So nothing special right now, but maybe my parents will want a case or something for it later in life.
All right. So, I just want to say thank you guys for joining us today. Stay tuned for our athletic trainers after this break.
Don't miss a minute of great MLTV programming like the Lion's Den and live sports. Be sure to like this video and click the subscribe button below. Help us grow viewership by sharing our links and events to social media. Thanks for being an MLTV viewer.
March is National Athletic Training Month. The Altoona Area School District is lucky to have 2 amazing athletic trainers. These dedicated professionals keep our athletes on the field and on the court. Ashlee, McQuown, and Dan McAllister join us today on The Den. Thanks for being here, guys.
Thanks for having us.
All right, so we're just going to start it out with Dan. Tell us, what does a trainer do?
So athletic trainers are, the first line of healthcare essentially for athletes. We go through preseason physicals, find out if there's something we need to prevent or correct before injuries or before the season starts, and then we're there to evaluate and assess when injuries happen, and then the return to play protocol after we get instructions from a doctor or somebody else.
So what does a typical day look like for you guys?
It depends on which one of us you're following around. Dan is here in the mornings. We like to try and split the day up, so we're always available during the school day as well for athletes if they have study halls or weightlifting or gym and they might need something. Once after school hits, depending on the season, we kind of split to our respective sports and cover practices or events until everything is done for the day.
So what sports do you normally work with?
Depends on the season. In the fall, I cover most all junior high sports and the girls volleyball team and cross country, and Dan has the daunting task of taking on the entire varsity and JV football team. And then in the winter, we kind of switch, and he comes over to the junior high and gets all the junior high sports taken care of, and I take care of the high school. And then in the spring, he goes back out and handles all of the mass track and field athletes, and I take care of everything on this side of campus.
Gotcha. So Dan, what does a typical day look like for you?
I'm here in the morning. Part of my role here in the school district is also assisting with equipment and purchasing and things of that nature. So in the morning I get here early, and if I'm going through a sports team's budget, I go through that. If anybody comes down in the morning in their off periods or out of weightlifting class or phys ed, I'm there to help. And then, once Ashlee comes in, I'll take a little break and then attack my after-school activities at the end of the day, whether it's Mansion Park in the fall and in the spring or at the junior high throughout the winter.
Now, Ashlee, what would you say made you want to become a trainer?
So I didn't have a single injury until I was a senior in high school, and they all piled up one after another. And it was me watching my athletic trainers in high school kind of get me back to play as fast as possible. I always wanted to stay with sports because they were such a big part of my life, and I like helping people, so I thought it was the perfect pair to be able to do both of those things for the rest of my life. So.
Dan, is this something that you knew you wanted to do for a while, or was this brought up newly?
I can remember when I was in elementary school wanting to be involved with athletics and sports, and how do I stay involved with them. And my dad is a veterinarian, but I knew caring for people instead of animals was kind of what I thought I wanted to do, and I was a sports nut and junkie. So that's just kind of where I naturally went. I tried to be an athlete, but when my playing days were over, I used my talents for something else.
Now, obviously, you guys work with a lot of injuries and stuff, and those can be physical, but no one really talks about the mental side of injuries. So what advice would you give athletes for the mental side of these injuries?
Mental side's tough, and everybody handles a setback or an injury in their own way. To me, it's talk to your parents, talk to us. Some people you can have a lighter attitude with, some people take it very seriously, and it's a matter of, if you're struggling on the mental side, get it out in the open. Talk to someone, talk to your parents, talk to your teammates. That way it helps you cope. And if you need more help, then people know, hey, I need more help with the mental side of it.
Then Ashlee, we'll jump back to you. What would you say you enjoy the most about being a trainer?
For sure, the athletes. And it ranges from the junior high to the high school athletes. It doesn't matter what day it is, they're always going to bring you some form of entertainment, but it's also getting to watch them on the court and put all the hard work in, and then finally get to see their dreams or their goals achieved and succeed. That's the best part of the job.
All right. We'll be back with more from Ashlee and Dan after this short break. We continue our discussion with AASD athletic trainers Ashlee What is it again? So you had to reset it. How do you say it again?
McQuown.
McQuown. All right.
Do you get to have bloopers in these things so you pop bloopers up on the show?
We can. Yeah. McQuown. All right. 5, 4, 3. We continue our discussion with AASD athletic trainers Ashlee McQuown and Dan McAllister. Let's talk a bit about what your job is like during the spring sports season. So we're going to start with baseball. Dan, I'm just going to ask you because I know you have a son in baseball. Mm-hmm. What injuries do you see most in baseball and softball players?
Most often, it's an arm issue with a baseball player, whether it's sore from the season just starting and they're back to throwing 6 days a week, or they feel something click or pop or here or there, other than getting hit with a baseball and having, whatever trauma from getting hit, whether it's a batter getting hit on the arm or something of that nature. But to me, it's a shoulder or arm soreness that bothers them.
Now, what would you say players do wrong when it comes to preventing injuries in baseball?
I think, and it's not just baseball, but to me, the main things you can do to prevent injuries is sleep enough, keep yourself nutritionally well and hydrate, and then follow instructions, like take time off, listen to what people are telling you. It's the hardest thing to do because everybody wants to play, but taking a step back, letting your body have time to recover, and then moving forward.
Now, jumping on to softball, are the injury risks in softball different compared to baseball?
I think they're probably the same injury, like risk of injury, like with shoulders and getting hit by pitches or sliding into home and getting that collision type thing. I feel like the shoulder injuries might be a little bit different. The risk might be a little bit different just because of how you throw the ball in baseball compared to softball. It's a little bit more natural of a motion. But with any sport, there's always such a high risk. But I feel like comparing those two sports, it's probably the baseball might have a higher velocity with how fast they hit and throw, but I think risk-wise, it's pretty much the same.
So how would you say you handle overuse injuries, especially in throwing arms?
It's like Dan said, if they kind of need to be educated on how much to throw, especially at the start of the season, how the proper warm-up and making sure that they have the right mechanics. If they're not doing all of those things, the overuse is going to come on faster. And if they don't realize those signs and symptoms and try and take a step back, that's whenever their season's probably going to be hindered because of the fact that their arms are never going to get better.
Now, on to tennis. How important is flexibility and mobility for tennis athletes?
It's really important just because, they move an arm with an extension to it, so to speak, a tennis racket. And if you're limited in mobility or flexibility, you're not going to get the location or the accuracy you want with the right spin, or you're not going to be able to change directions and move and recover to get to the next shot like you need to also.
Now, tennis can be, there's a lot of repetitive motions in tennis. So what kind of wear can that have on the body?
It comes down to, where are you strong and where are you weak? And if that repetitive motion emphasizes where you're weak, it's going to create a breakdown somewhere, whether it's in the shoulder or the elbow or the wrist or something of that nature. And, our job is to help find where that weakness is and prevent as much of that breakdown as we can.
And one of our last sports is track. Ashlee, how do you help athletes avoid overtraining?
With track, that's tough. It's just them knowing what they're feeling in their body. Don't try and hide what you're feeling, I guess I should say. Some kids will wait a week or two and be like, well, my quad's been hurting for a couple weeks, but I just thought it was nothing. And they keep trying to push through that, and that volume of training is what can cause that injury and that tightness and everything like that. So it's more of, don't be afraid to speak up and let us know what you're feeling. It's whether it's small or not, it can lead to an issue that's can be prevented.
All right, and then the last sport we're going to talk about today is boys volleyball. What kinds of things can people do to prevent jumping-related injuries?
I mean, jumping-related injuries it's how do you prepare in the off season? How do you prepare in different things? If you're going to be playing a sport like volleyball, you know jumping's involved. You have to have some sort of build up to train and be ready for it so that your body can handle that stress and that load on it. And then, as in track with an overuse and jumping, you know, work on mechanics, work on strength, and identifying the weaknesses prior to the constant practice and work on it.
All right, well, thank you guys both for joining us today. That's it for this episode of The Lion's Den. Be sure to subscribe to the MLTV YouTube channel. We'll see you guys next time in the Den.